He's good. I remember seriously. A little bit. Because we moved the block, I think I told Mr. Nicholas. Right over.
Already?
Yeah.
Awesome. So good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, late morning to everyone. Appreciate everyone taking the time to be here at our amazing airport. I want to say a couple of special thank yous just to begin. One, I know that we have many of the airport commissioners here. Just want to say thank you. We have Director Dunn here, as well as Commissioner West and Commissioner Cicero, and the work that you've done out at this airport is phenomenal. So thank you so much. Also, very selfishly, we also have Alderwoman Tarina and Alderman Bonnie here with us today. Just want to say thank you for your support of the airport. So any day that the governor is in town and any day that we're out at the airport for a press conference, you know is a good day, but it's really a great day when the governor's in town and we're out at the airport. So I want to make sure everyone is welcome here at the airport, but this airport has seen amazing growth. We're talking about 8,000 jobs out at the airport. We're talking about billions of economic impact here at our international airport. We are so incredibly fortunate to be here at the AAR facility. AAR has seen substantial increase in business with also the signing of a multi-year agreement to perform airframe maintenance to United's fleet. This is really exciting. This is about partnerships of government, partnerships of the private sector coming together for what's best for our community and for our citizens. With this tremendous success that AAR has seen, it also comes with a lot of challenges. Some of those challenges specifically is how do we make sure that this airport and all the businesses here are able to hire and properly train the right people for this increasing workforce demand. A job which is obviously much more difficult in today's labor shortage. The news that's going to be announced today is going to go a long way in helping us train and hire local people to fill these wonderful jobs. I get the honor today to introduce Governor Pritzker. And before I have him come up here, I just want to say how fortunate I believe we are to have Governor Pritzker in Springfield. If it's hard to remember this, but we previously had a governor that sent a check supposedly in the mail, and we never received it. Mike Dunn gets that joke. Thank you. But on a very serious note, we were promised $14 million, and this governor delivered $14 million to this airport, so thank you. Not too far from here and further down South Main, this governor delivered $23 million to renovate the BMO Harris Bank Center. That'll spur economic development in our downtown city center. Thank you, Governor Pritzker. And something that just happened just last week is we opened the doors on a temporary casino in the city of Rockford, something that we have wanted for more than 20 years, something that's been promised after governor, and only one governor helped deliver that, and that's Governor Pritzker. So without further ado, Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Well, what a nice introduction. Thank you very much to the mayor. I want to make sure that you all know how highly people think of your mayor in Springfield. And aside from my personal faith in his leadership, I must tell you that the representatives that you send, the senator and representatives that you send, carry the message of what's needed for the Rockford Airport, for the Rockford region, and for what the mayor believes is best for the people of Rockford. So I'm very grateful for his leadership and that the message is known throughout the state and especially in our state government that Rockford is a place you want to invest in. The people of Rockford are hardworking people who deserve a great future. and we're trying to deliver that every day. So good morning to everyone. Thank you all for hosting us, AAR. Thank you, Rockford Airport leadership. Thank you. I want to recognize the leaders that are here with us today who've done a lot of work to make this day possible. I'm sure that I will miss many people who have been part of the success here, but let me at least acknowledge the AAR CEO, John Holmes, the Rockford Mayor, of course, Tom, John. The Mayor, Tom McNamara. United Airlines SVP of Technology Operations, Tom Doxey. Our own Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Director, Sylvia Garcia. The Workforce Connection, thank you, because I know how hard the people there work. Senator Steve Stottleman and Representative Dave Vella and Representative Maurice West, thank you for your partnership fighting for the people of Rockford. Yesterday, I was fortunate enough to join President Biden at the White House as he signed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act into law. Generational legislation that will create millions of jobs across this nation, power local economies, double down on America's global leadership, and ensure working families have the roads and the routes and the digital access that they need to succeed in the 21st century. It's also a monumental step forward in our recovery from this pandemic and our commitment to build back better. And today we mark yet another milestone in that mission for the Rockford community. Both state and federal dollars coming to this community make all the difference, in my view, if we're investing in the people and the businesses here. I'm proud to announce a $2.6 million investment to fast-track workforce development training for in-demand aviation mechanics right here at the Rockford Airport, the fastest-growing cargo airport in the entire world. My administration truly is dedicated to rebuilding our economy by investing in people, and that's exactly what we're all doing here today. Already, AAR has done a phenomenal job recruiting diverse candidates from across the region and the state for its apprenticeship pathways, ensuring a strong talent pipeline for the jobs of tomorrow. Thanks to this funding, AAR is creating 50 new paid apprenticeships, multiplying its already successful model with the help of the Workforce Connection, Rock Valley Community College, Rockford High School, and so many others. Now, even more area residents right here will be able to enroll in specialized training for aviation mechanics. Thank you to AAR. These opportunities will in turn bolster success for a new generation in the thousands of highly skilled, good-paying aviation jobs set to come to Illinois now and in the years to come. I want to commend AAR, United Airlines, and all of the local leaders coming together to make this moment possible. And with the airport's ongoing renovations, funded by our Rebuild Illinois capital plan in part, we know great things are in store for Rockford's future and for the workers who power it. From day one, I've prioritized growing apprenticeship training programs to prepare our residents for good-paying jobs and the needs our employers have on the ground. And we've had a special focus on meeting the evolving needs of the aviation industry, including supporting the establishment of the nation's largest aviation institute of maintenance in Chicago and accelerating aviation manufacturing job creation at the Mid-America Airport in Metro East. The new aviation mechanic pathways here in Rockford are another big step forward in that pursuit. And they come at a critical time as we work to get more Illinoisans back to work and recover from this pandemic. Illinois is already a transportation powerhouse, connecting millions of visitors and businesses by road, by rail, by air, and by working closely in collaboration with our state's powerhouse aviation companies, AAR, United Airlines, Boeing. We are laying the groundwork to keep our communities connected and competitive for years to come. Before I turn the podium over, I just want to say one last thing. I hope that all of you will take pride in our state, in the fact that we truly are training the best workforce. Indeed, we started out with the best manufacturing and service workforce in the entire nation. And we're doing even more to train our workforce for better jobs, good paying jobs, all across the state of Illinois. I'm very proud of that. You should be too. We have 2 major national laboratories in the state of Illinois. We have some of the best engineering, business programs, not to mention the workforce that we have is working in the transportation arena, where Illinois is #1 in infrastructure. And we're at the crossroads of all the shipping that goes on across the nation. 7 railroads, major airports, the fastest growing cargo airport in the world. You should all be very proud. I am, of our state. With that, I'll turn it over to truly one of the most incredible partners, committing to invest not just in our state, but in our people, and that's AAR CEO, John Holmes. John?
Thank you so much, Governor Pritzker, for that unbelievably kind introduction, and also to Mayor McNamara for your kind words as well. Before I say anything else, I want to also express my sincere thanks and gratitude to the broader AAR team over here in Rockford. This team and many other teams like them in the AAR network have had a very, very difficult and challenging 18 months. It hasn't been easy to come to work in the middle of this pandemic. It hasn't been easy to work on aircraft when you're wearing masks all day and coming to work before there were vaccines available. And this team not only survived but thrived during this period of time, and you guys are really the reason we're here. So thank you. This is all great news today, and I know that this workforce grant that we're here to talk about is going to provide opportunity for hundreds of even more people to enter the aviation workforce. And by the way, when we're back here next time, hopefully that group will be twice as big. As the largest, as it's important to have goals, as the largest maintenance, repair, and overhaul company in North America and the 3rd largest in the world, AAR is committed to providing safe and on-time aircraft to our commercial and military customers. Our Rockford MRO facility, and I don't have to tell everybody in the room here, especially Mr. Dunn, has been through some ups and downs over the last 4 years since we began operations. But I'm recalling a meeting that happened just over 2 years ago with Governor, the Mayor, Mike Dunn, and others. That was a real turning point in the facility, and that's when we discussed the concept for this grant for the first time. And it's kind of hard to imagine life before COVID, but just 2 years ago, we were already facing a workforce crisis in aviation. The talent pipeline was driving up. And we needed to develop a different strategy here in Rockford in order to secure our future. The concept for this grant relied on the development for talent in Rockford and the surrounding areas, but it also relied on trusted partners like the Workforce Connection and Rock Valley College to help us achieve the hiring goals that we would need in order to make this facility healthy and profitable. The other aspect that is absolutely critical to the success of any facility is what we call an anchor customer. And an anchor customer is the main customer in each facility that drives the majority of the work under a long-term contract, and this provides the foundation for a large and stable workforce. Since we began operations here in Rockford, actually even since before that, we've had over 30 customers come through this facility. And that may sound cool, but it actually creates a lot of instability. But that entire time, and again, even before we broke ground on this facility, we had our eye on one potential anchor customer, and that's United Airlines. Their fleet, our relationship between the two companies, and the fact that we had another Illinois headquartered airline made them the perfect fit. Over the past 18 months, even as our industry has experienced one of the worst downturns ever due to the pandemic, Rockford has been a real bright spot. As layoffs and closures happened at other AAR facilities, we continued to hire here in Rockford, and we did this because the facility was performing, we had amazing state and local support, and we had confidence that ultimately we would secure an anchor customer in United. That vision became a reality very recently when we signed a long-term agreement with United to provide heavy maintenance for their 737 fleet right in this hangar. The challenge, however, as you heard, is that the shortage for skilled labor still exists, and it's actually even more acute in our industry than it was before the pandemic. Over the last 18 months, AAR has remained focused on the importance of attracting and retaining talent to the aviation industry and the critical role that will play in our recovery. As a result, we have doubled down on our efforts, and you heard the governor mention a few of these. We've doubled down on our efforts to expand our programs through Eagle Career Pathways with schools like Rock Valley College right next door and with Olive Harvey College down in Chicago. This grant, this $2.6 million grant, will go an awfully long way in this effort, particularly to help AAR fill the new 250 jobs created as a result of the United program. We will also have a focus, and you heard the governor mention this, on continuing to bring more people that are underrepresented in the aviation industry, specifically those people of color, as well as women, and make them a broader part of our workforce. And a wonderful example of the impact our programs are having is actually just to my right here, and is Paris Green in the group. I just need a hand, Paris. I know he's there. I talked to him earlier. All right, he's hiding. Okay. We know you're out there, Paris. Paris went through Olive Harvey's sheet metal program down in Chicago, and he came to us through an association we have with Chicago Cred, which is a program developed and led by former Secretary of Education Arnie Duncan. And Paris graduated from this program earlier this year. He moved up to Rockford, and notwithstanding the fact that we can't see him, he's actually doing an amazing job. These jobs are not just jobs, they are careers, and they're life-changing for our employees and the communities in which they live. This workforce grant will accelerate this efforts and help bring more talent, like Paris, into the aviation industry. Once again, I want to thank the entire AAR team, Mayor McNamara, the Illinois legislature, Governor Pritzker, for making this all possible. You are truly enabling our success. And with that, it is my great pleasure to introduce Tom Doxey, who's the Senior Vice President for Technical Operations at United Airlines. And Tom, I want to thank you and your team again for having the confidence and commitment to make Rockford your home. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's great to be here representing United Airlines. And it's great to be here with the governor, with the mayor, and with John and the rest of the AAR leadership. It is an amazing thing to have a partner like AAR that shares some of the core values that we have at United. I loved hearing John talk about how AAR is developing programs that represent underrepresented groups, specifically people of color, and especially women. At United Airlines, actually, within our maintenance team, we are majority people of color. But the number of women that we have within our organization is much smaller than we'd like it to be. And like AAR, we have programs that we've developed to be able to attract women, develop women within United Airlines within the technical field, which historically has not been majority women. So thank you for that. I also want to thank this group here. As we look to partner, especially now as we're coming back from this deep pandemic, we have an incredible number of aircraft that are coming through this type of maintenance work. And it's a hard thing to go from zero to where we are today, which is getting as many of our airplanes back as we possibly can. And I want to thank you on behalf of United Airlines, on behalf of John Wiedela and Kurt Carpenter, part of my leadership team that are here today, for what has been an incredible start to a very long-term relationship here in Rockford between United and AAR. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. Thank you. I also want to thank the governor and so many of the leaders that are here behind us. Having these types of grants is just incredibly critical for us. John talked about the shortage that we have across the industry of skilled individuals for several different types of jobs, including these technician, mechanic type roles. So having this type of funding that allows us to be able to attract and develop a diverse group of individuals here in Rockford and here in Illinois, including our teams at United, is just absolutely critical. And these funds in particular will help to develop folks here in Rockford, here at AAR, which is a huge support to United Airlines. So thank you very much. Thank you. Let me just finish with one thing, which is that we hope that you are noticing a change at United. We hope that it feels different as you're at the airport, as you're flying on our airplanes. We're investing in customers and in our employees in ways that we've never done it before. We've ordered hundreds of airplanes. We have over 500 airplanes that are delivering over the next 5 years, brand new airplanes coming from Boeing, which is another large Illinois company, from Airbus as well. We've also invested over $1 billion, or will be investing over $1 billion in completely reimagining what the inside of our airplanes look like. We have a really good product. We just don't do it as consistently as we should. And these investments will allow us to do that. We're putting in-flight entertainment screens on all of our airplanes. We're putting large bins and new lighting on all of our airplanes. Think about the stress that it has on passengers when they want to board by group, whatever it is, so that they know they can get a bag in the overhead bin. That's all going to change. We're investing in tools that they can use as well. Being able to use your phone to talk to an agent as opposed to waiting in line if there's a storm or something else that might be disrupting your day. And we're doing the same thing for our employees as well, developing tools for them that allow them to do their jobs in a more efficient way. So we hope that you're feeling the difference. We're making those investments in our people, both our employees and our customers. So let me just finish with a big thank you to AAR, to Governor Pritzker, to Mayor McNamara as well, and to these leaders behind me. So thank you very much. And with that, I'll turn it over to Director Garcia.
Thank you, Tom, for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sylvia Garcia, and I'm the Acting Director of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, or as we like to call it, DCO. I'm very happy to be here today with Governor Pritzker and our local partners here in Rockford to announce our latest investment to prepare the Illinois workforce for success in the future. With a $2.6 million grant from DCO, AAR will team up with local workforce agencies to scale their successful aviation mechanic training program here at the Rockford Airport. This proven training program will help generate new apprenticeship opportunities for individuals in the Rockford area, paving the way for more good-paying jobs for local residents and fueling that talent pipeline that Illinois companies need to grow and compete in the future. The aviation industry faces sharp labor demands with more than 600,000 aviation mechanics needed globally in the years ahead. To help meet those market demands, Illinois is focused on investing in training that will build a skilled talent pipeline in industries across the board, from aviation to IT to hospitality and manufacturing, and really making sure that that pipeline is one that employers can count on. We're very proud to support local employers who are making investments in their local workforce development team, like the ones that AAR is making today, because they truly demonstrate a long-term commitment to growing and developing our people here in Illinois. Apprenticeships are a proven model where folks can learn while they earn. That model has shown that improves worker wages and employee retention, which is why apprenticeships are such an important part of Governor Pritzker's 5-year economic plan, and why it is fitting that we are making this announcement today during National Apprenticeship Week, which started yesterday. Overall, the state of Illinois and our partners at the U.S. Department of Labor are contributing 16,000 apprenticeship training pathways across the state each year. This week, DCO is celebrating with 30 events across the state to recognize the importance of apprenticeship programming and the partnerships with employers, educators, and local workforce boards across the state that make these opportunities possible. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Lisa Bly-Jones, who's the Executive Director of the Workforce Connection here in Rockford, who does a lot of that work, and a lot of this work wouldn't be possible without them. So thank you so much, and turn it over to Dr. Jones.
Good morning. I am Dr. Lisa Bly-Jones, the Executive Director of the Workforce Connection Board. And the Workforce Connection is proud to partner with AAR and demonstrate this shining example of what successful partnerships can look like when we're all working together towards a common goal. None of this can be done alone, and so I would like to acknowledge Ryan from AAR, who is the VP of Workforce, our own apprenticeship navigator, Chris Connors, and then Courtney Geiger. We have spent countless hours working on different projects. Ryan has become a committee member of our workforce board. And so as VP of Aviation Maintenance, I know you're busy, but we thank you for being a part of those conversations that ultimately led to the culmination of this effort. And so I really appreciate Governor Pritzker and all of the legislators and all of the good work that went into this. Over the past 4 years, we have built a trusting relationship with AAR by lending our workforce development expertise to upskill the current workforce, develop apprenticeships for new employees, and so much more. The Workforce Connection coordinates the regional workforce system serving Boone, Stevenson, and Winnebago counties. TWC is one of 22 local workforce boards that work every day to connect residents to education and employment opportunities while also connecting employers with trained and skilled employees with the funding that we get from DCEO. This funding is to support the retention and recruitment of a well-qualified and diverse workforce at the AAR Maintenance, Repair, and Overhaul facility here in Rockford, Illinois. We are super excited about that kind of investment. We know that strategic workforce development efforts contribute to sound economic development, and that's what can advance economic mobility of people in our communities. And now I would like to hand it over to State Senator Steve Stottleman.
Good morning, everybody. And good morning, employees. This is all about you. You should just come join the party. I'm just kidding. You've seen the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, right? One of my favorite movies. Well, earlier today in Belvedere this morning, we were talking about automobiles. The governor signed a state incentive package to help ensure that electric vehicle production is continued in Belvedere and across the state. Here we're talking about planes and making sure workforce funding is available for AAR to fix planes and create hundreds of new jobs. So that leaves trains. And so hopefully in the not too distant future, the governor come back to Rockford and have a ribbon cutting ceremony for passenger rail service between Chicago and Rockford. We don't ask for too much, do we, Governor, in Rockford? Seriously, the governor continues to step up for the Rockford region, no doubt about that. The mayor briefly alluded to the $15 million check that never arrived from the previous administration. Here's the reality about the budget process in Springfield. The legislature, lawmakers can put $15 million in the budget, as we did a few years ago, to help pay for this facility, or we can put $2.6 million in this year's budget to help with this workforce funding. But it's up to the administration, it's up to the governor to decide when and if to deliver that funding. But as soon as the governor took office a few years ago, he delivered on the $50 million. He's delivering on his $2.5 million. So, Governor, thank you so much for your continued investment in the Rockford area. Definitely appreciate it. I'll just leave it at this. The Rockford Airport continues to be a major driver of economic development in this region. This workforce funding will help fuel AAR and continued growth here at the Rockford Airport. I can't wait for the future. Thank you, everybody. Now I'd like to introduce Representative Dave Ella.
Thank you very much. I wasn't planning on speaking today. I just want to say a couple words. I've lived in the Rockford area my whole life. The Rockford Airport has been part of my existence. Basically, I went to my prom here at the restaurant. My first job was mowing lawns out here. This place has always been, whether Rockford's economy has gone up or down or sideways, it has always been a kind of a jewel, a bellwether in growth. And under Mike Dunn's leadership, it really has continued to grow year after year. And this is another example. AAR is a great company. It's an anchor company. It's going to be here for a long time, knock wood. And with this apprenticeship program, we're going to be able to do what we need to do, right? We need to give people good paying jobs that they will keep for a long time, careers. Not short-time jobs, not low-paying jobs. And what these apprenticeship programs do is they bring a middle class back to the Rockford area. We have a middle class. We want to grow our middle class. Everybody should be in the middle class. We should have a strong middle class. And I think this is one of those things. And I want to thank the governor and AAR and the mayor's office. This is a great thing. It's a great day today. So thank you very much. And I'm going to give this over to my my hero, Maurice West. Come on.
Good morning, everyone. I am so thankful to have Governor Pritzker here once again. And as you know, Governor Pritzker, you're always welcome to Rockford, but I also want to welcome you to the 67th District. I'm really excited about this monumental grant that's coming to AAR. To the leaders of AAR, to the Leaders United, thank you for your leadership. One thing that excites me about this grant, before becoming a state representative, I was an expert in workforce development. I worked at Rock Valley College with Dr. Spearman. We see the president of Rock Valley here, and Rockford University, helping people develop their careers and understand the workforce. Mark my words, if you ever hear a politician that says he's bringing jobs to the district, he is lying. It comes to developing the workforce. That's how we bring jobs to any portion of our state. By developing the workforce, by helping these men and women behind us to grow and become empowered, and help them to get to livable wages and to help them to provide for their family. With that being said, as we are moving to a post-pandemic normalcy, we cannot go back to the normalcy before March 2020. I refuse to. We have to get to a place not just where we build back better, but we are bigger, faster, braver, stronger. We are encouraging, and Mr. Governor, we are prioritizing workforce development. We're prioritizing organizations such as the Workforce Connection and the Illinois Workforce Development Council that is statewide to help empower the residents in our state to bring themselves up. And I always say this, Dr. Martin Luther King said, it's well and good, and I'm paraphrasing, to tell someone to lift themselves up by the bootstraps, but it's a cruel jest to say this to a bootless man. This grant will help everyone to have boots, to lift themselves up, and to provide for their family. But there's a plan of action after this press conference. Each one of us here in front of me, everyone behind me in terms of leadership, and especially those of you back there as employees, we must get the word out about the training opportunities here at AAR. We must get the word out to not only diversify and talk the game of being a place where we are diverse for people of color and women, but we have to make sure the people of color and women know about this opportunity, so that when we develop the workforce and we decrease the skills gap, that's when our economy thrives, and that's when our community thrives. So I am excited. This is just the beginning, and I'm looking forward to greatness from here on out in terms of workforce development. And this is just the first step to developing the workforce in the city of Rockford, especially, I'll say it again, in the 67th District. So with that being said, I'm going to bring Governor Pritzker back up for Q&A with the media. Governor.
Before I take any questions, I just want to recognize something very important for all of us here, and that's that none of what we're talking about today, whether it was electric vehicle training for people to get good jobs in electric vehicle manufacturing, or here at AAR, the job opportunities that we're helping to develop, without Rock Valley College and without Dr. Spearman. Thank you. That having been said, happy to take any questions from members of the media. Yes. Hi.
So as the state continues to invest in Northern Illinois, growing Northern Illinois' aviation, we think that protecting the land ecological part like the Belvedere is a priority.
Well, I believe, and I said this at the last press conference today, I really believe that as we fight for our climate, our environment, as we protect our environment, that we can also do so while creating jobs, that we don't need to have a trade-off here. And that's one of the reasons why we're making the investments that we've made in electric vehicle manufacturing, for example. It's one of the reasons we passed our climate legislation, which allows us to preserve the jobs in clean energy that we already have, but also to build jobs in the renewables sector. So just like here at the airport, it's important for both sides of this discussion to work together on a solution. I understand that that has been in the works for a bit now, so I'm pleased about that and believe that there will be a good resolution. So I think the question, if I'll repeat it, is planes, automobiles. Back to Senator Stottlemann's question, what about trains? So as you know, Senator Stottleman has been a real leader in fighting for Amtrak right here in Rockford, and it's something that he and I have talked about that was included in our Rebuild Illinois capital plan. Now that we have dollars coming to Illinois from the federal infrastructure bill, which I mentioned a little earlier, that helps to speed up all of the projects that we have on what's called our multi-year plan, and this is just one of them, and an important one, I might add. Amtrak passenger service, certainly for people here in Rockford, and as you are growing jobs, it makes it even more relevant that we initiate this effort to have Amtrak Chicago to Rockford. So I appreciate the efforts of local government as well as state government, including especially Senator Stottleman, to prioritize this, and I think it's a high priority as well. No. Yes. How do we deal with staff shortages? I want to just make sure everybody knows, all across the state of Illinois, we have jobs available that people could take if they're ready to go to work. If it requires training, then we're making that training available. This is one example that we're announcing today, but we're doing it all across the state. We want to make sure that we're upskilling our workforce who wants to get a better job than maybe they had during the pandemic or before the pandemic. And so we're making the investments that are necessary. But I do want to just point out that we have so many jobs available in the state of Illinois, and everybody, if you drive down main streets across the state or just look at the help wanted ads that are out there, you can see that those jobs are available and there are companies that are ready to hire. So I want people to think hard about the opportunity that's available to workers today. You actually have a lot of power in the marketplace, workers. So I hope you'll come to the jobs, talk to employers that are seeking you, and if you want to get upskilled, like I said, Rock Valley College and colleges of its quality all across the state of Illinois are open for business in programs that are literally leading people right into great jobs that are available in their local areas. Thank you very much, everybody.